See, you did a perfect job on that. Yes?
Someone who's never been on E before, should you start them after 1,000 twice a day?
Yes, it's all right. Yes. No. No. But it thins the blood. If one kind of vitamin E causes heart palpitations, then use another variety. But not just by another trade name. Use a vitamin E from a soy product instead of a fish liver oil, yes.
After giving all these things we just mentioned, what about using the shotgun effect to make sure you didn't miss anything by giving some kind of a food supplement that had a lot of these things in it?
It'll be very good. Yes.
What kind of vitamin E do you use? Do you use the D-alpha, the copper, or the one with the mixed?
I use both of them. Yes.
Is vitamin E an antagonist of coumadin, which is a blood thinner?
I don't know. Yes? Cranberry juice would be excellent in both cases here. Either one. Either vitamin E, water insoluble or the powder, either one. Yes. So this gives you an idea of what it means to solve a problem. Now, let's change something up here and see what happens, okay? We're going to change her. What's that? No, you use Cal-2 here. 1 Cal-2 twice a day because you're using highly acid vitamin C. And this is why you do it. I don't use golden seal until it gets to 720 because it's quite acid forming. What's that? The worming problem here, the pH range showed that you had an ideal range. And also, you can see by the hair not having any sheen in it. Now, there's one problem you're going to have, and that's on a bald-headed man. But if that scalp don't have a sheen, they got worms. Okay, if you look at their head, and if you can't see yourself in the sheen, then they got worms. Okay?
The woman needs Cal-2 and the man calcium lactate?
No, both of them need Cal-2. Both need Cal-2 here because of the high amounts of vitamin C. The problem is the woman's going to need the Cal-2 over a longer period of time than the man. Now, probably. I'm going to change one thing here, and let's see how it changes the whole thing. It's going to change the whole picture. Now you've got a different picture altogether. Just change one number, and look what it did to it. Now what do? I'll just change the sugar from 4.2 to 8.2. It's a retreat case, but what do you do to get them to the retreat? The still water, yes. And what minerals? Yes, you can put them on most of the minerals, but I only give them about half that many minerals. I cut them down to a very minimum. And this one will be algovam. Why? Because this is affecting the eyesight. The eyes are being affected terrifically. Vitamin A is very deficient. And here is a case in which I would give vitamin A. I would not give carrot juice, but I'd give vitamin A to this and algovam, menthol, dolomite, and probably they're drinking water like it's going out of style anyway. I'd change their diet to what? No meats, no bread, no starches, no whole milk, no fruit after 2 o'clock.
You put this patient on vitamin D also?
No. I would not put this patient on vitamin D, yes.
The kidneys are affected here.
Right.
But would you use golden seal, or you're afraid of
acid forming with a high sugar?
The thing about it is, the reason I'm not using golden seal here is where the vitamin C is more important. And if I use golden seal and vitamin C, it'll jerk this below 640.
Golden seal will thin the blood in the glomeruli of the kidney.
It's high in sulfur. That's the main thing. It's a blood purifier. It doesn't thin the blood. It just purifies the blood.
So what does it do to the glomeruli of the kidney?
It causes dilation.
Used in conjunction with swelling of the ankles?
Yes.
This patient would have swelling of the ankles, would they not?
If this condition had existed long enough, yes. Yes. Also, when you have swelling of the ankles and you have a low blood sugar, you use watermelon juice. But when you have a high blood sugar, you do not use it. You do not use it. Now, what you can do, you can take the rind of the watermelon and squeeze the rind through a juicer, not the ripe part, but the rind part, which is low in sugar, and have them to drink that. And it does a wonderful job to bring the swelling down, whether the sugar is high or low or not, because the rind is lower in sugar than the red meat, yes. The watermelon seed tea, and also Warmel tablets. Warmel, W-O-R-M-E-L, Warmel tablets are excellent in getting the kidneys to flush as a diuretic. Also coffee, yes? I can't hear you. No, you can freeze it, but it loses its effect. It's better than nothing, but not nearly as good as the watermelon, yes, itself.
We take the rind from the watermelon, run through the juicer, and we have a lot of it, we freeze it. Are we just wasting our time?
No, not exactly. It's better than nothing, but it isn't near the strength that it should be. Yes? It doesn't matter too much about the source, except in a high one here, you want it to be as free of carbohydrates as possible. Use a different variety of vitamin A every day if you can. Yes? I wouldn't know. A person like that needs to be in a retreat for 2 or 3 weeks. Whenever they got leg ulcers, I would suggest they be in a retreat, yes. Well, you get the watermelon seed tea from the health food store and just make it like you do any other tea. Or if you want to make your own from dried watermelon seed, grind them in a grinder and then make a tea and strain it, yes. Coarse grind, yes. Yes. Yes.
If you take the watermelon seeds fresh from the watermelon, take 1 ounce of the seeds to 6 ounces of water and boil it 6 minutes. No? If you take them fresh from the... boil them for 6 minutes. If you need more, you take 2 ounces of seeds to 12 ounces of water, or 3 ounces of seeds to 18 ounces of water. Always boil it 6 minutes and then strain it, and then alternate drinking it with your distilled water for that day to bring the swelling down. By ounces. 1 ounce.
By weight or by volume?
Oh, by volume.
This is weight.
Right. Would you just put them in a measuring cup? 1 ounce. Okay. Then when you take them out of the watermelons, if you want to just save them, put them on Scott towels until they dry. Very good, because if you put them in a jar to save them and they mold, they're no good. So make sure they're dry before you store them for future use.
Thank you. Swelling of the ankles, watermelons, swelling of the ankles. I'm going to change another number up here and make this mean something else now. Now, what you got? 1.2 instead of high blood sugar. You have low blood sugar. Yes? That's right, but this is a different type of low blood sugar. You've got a very low blood sugar here. The other you had a fluctuating, but you got one here that hangs too low all the time. Right. What is your main problem here?
High salt, low sugar.
That's right. High salt, low sugar, high urea, low sugar. The method of treatment is entirely different. It is hypoglycemia. And what kind of personality does hypoglycemics have? Fighting for their life. Hard to get along with. Now let's do something around here and watch it. Let's make a wildcat out of them. Now, what have you got?
What is it, Mike? The region?
5. I've changed the sugar to 1.2. The calcium 590 over 610. Yes, I've changed it. I mean, that's the changes I made for the microphones and so forth. But now, what effect does that have on the personality? Yes.
That goes into low calcium there, and then they really are much more going with the low sugar way. Just doubles it up.
Want to fight? Want to divorce?
That's right. That's right. How are you going to keep them from getting a divorce now?
Better for the retreat.
Raise the calciums. That's right. Yes. That's right. No, 690 was not a low calcium. 640 is normal, and anything above that's a high calcium oxide. But it was also a lactate deficiency. Yes. Yes, it was low calcium. Yes, but it was an oxide. Now then, you got all the calciums. You had one too much. Now then, you got all of them deficient. Now, what else? There's something else about this person. This case, besides the irritability, there's something else about this. No, not asthma yet. Not yet. But there's something else about this case. Now, look at it and see really what rings a bell there. Menstrual cramps, yes, that's true, but one more thing about the woman. What is it? She's in menopause. Yeah, hot flashes. Yes. Now, she's just in the edge, but now she's really in menopause. In other words, she's having hot flashes, she's nervous, irritable, despondent, headaches, all kinds of symptoms follow this. Cold hands, cold feet, and so forth. Yes? Well, when they're both, it's exaggerated. But when there's one, it's still true, especially the top number. Oh, yes. What, if this stayed this way long enough, what would happen? That's the calcium would reach the PNR and the menstrual period would stop forever. I don't know, because it's a variable with each person. It's a variable. Yes? No, sir, schizophrenia does not show up in the numbers. No, because schizophrenic is a mental thing that doesn't show up. Unless there's a brain tumor that causes the schizophrenia. Now, sometimes that does show, if you have a brain tumor in the medulla oblongata, the upper part of it, it could very easily indicate schizophrenia. But other parts of the brain, it probably wouldn't. Yes?
If the urine pH was 660 and the saliva pH was below 640, we still have a premature menopause?
Similar problem, yes. Yes. Yes.
if this were a young girl and it remained for quite a time, would that put her into permanent menopause?
It could. This could happen at 14 just as well for a female.
Now, how long are we talking about if it remained for it to become a permanent?
It's got to drop much lower than this. It's have to drop down into the 5s, 580 or 6. No, 4. 480, 510, somewhere along in there. And then the period would stop forever. Should be through with it forever in life.
What does this person take? She takes calcium, but what about warming her up?
Yes, zest tonic. Zest tonic. But now, should this person have coffee? Why?
Lower the sugar.
Pancreas can't handle it.
That's right, but what happens? What does the coffee do? Destroys the alcohol that's manufactured by the pancreas. Yes, cause and effect is what we're studying. Cause and effect. For every effect there's a cause. For every cause there's an effect. Yes.
Would this woman with that little skeleton have a hard time to get pregnant? Even though it's acid?
No, it's possible. It's possible, yes.
Are there delta cells in the pancreas?
Yes. In fact, there's delta cells all over here.
In the liver also?
Yes. Yes.
You find delta cells when that pH gets off too much one way or the other?
The more it's off, the greater the number of delta cells, yes. The greater the farther away from perfect on any number, the greater the number of delta cells.
Wouldn't the coffee at that point be damaging to the kidneys because the high salts are already there?
Yes. Yes. The thing you don't give her coffee until you get her pH up. Don't give her coffee now. Get her body chemistry corrected first. Well, coffee is the greatest enemy alcohol ever had, and if you give coffee, and they also have cold, they're freezing 1 minute and hot the next, so which do you want them to do? Cook or freeze? Best thing to do is correct the calcium first before, don't try to do everything at the same time. Yeah, just a few minutes apart. That's something that happens real quickly. Real quickly. Yes?
What happens when a person is overdue birth long term?
Not a thing. Just wait till it comes naturally. Some babies, I have seen them take 12 months to come. 12 months. Some of them 11 months. I know one that took 11 months and 19 days, and they looked like they were 2 or 3 months old when they were born. They were not even pink. Their body was about equal to like a 2-month-old baby should be. They held up their head and looked around and said, well, how come me here? And they turned over in bed. In about 2 weeks, they were rolling all over the bed. So a baby that's 9 months is kind of pink and all head. But if they're over time, then they're a very, very nice figure. Yes. Well, I don't know. I'd have to have all the facts at my fingertips. All the facts at my fingertips, yes.
What if a pregnant gal had a false labor in the morning, you gave the wine, the cramps went away, and then let's say that evening she started cramping again? Would you give more wine on that same day?
Well, that all depends on how many days before delivery they were due.
Let's say 2
No.
months.
If they're 2 months, yes, I'd give the wine, yes. Yes, but if it was 2 days before delivery was due, I wouldn't. Generally, girls come early and boys come late. Generally, is that a general rule that you've always heard? Girls come early and boys come late, generally. Also, this general story is that girls ride high and boys ride low. I've heard that. So it's not always true, but it's many times it is true. What's that?
Isn't it just the opposite? Boys ride high?
No, I heard it. Huh? I heard it the opposite. Girls were high and boys were low. That's the way I heard it. But maybe just an old wives' tale doesn't matter. Yes. Yes. The oxide group is too high. Whenever the pH is above 640, which calciums are too much? And it's the oxide group. Yes. You only give lime water whenever the pH is 620 or below. Yes?
In a woman, calcium oxide wouldn't be too high at 660 or 680, would it?
Yes, it would be too high. It should be 640 if all numbers were perfect. But if they were not perfect, 640, 660 or 680 wouldn't be too high temporarily. But it does mean that the food is taking longer to digest. Yes, too long. Also indicates slow elimination, constipation.
You give them cal too, but you'd watch it.
Yes, that's right. Also, in all probability, either case here, either male or female, there'd be a slight diarrhea. Or 590 over 610, a loose bowel. That's right. That's right. Do you find this interesting? Yes. Because the food is digesting too fast, or going through too fast. Yes. The calcium oxide group, or Cal2 is one of them. Yes. Calmin, eggshell, oyster shell, those things are the Cal2. No, not, gluconate is a pretty well. I guess you would call it gluconate slightly on the oxide form, but it's right on the line. Put another number up.
Let's get an old person. With rheumatism.
An old person with rheumatism, all right.
Or a young one with rheumatism. Or arthritis. Yes, somebody with arthritis.
Okay, you want somebody with arthritis. You got the person with arthritis now. We'll change the numbers to 5.2 sugar, 790 over 810, 34 C4M, and 12 over 7. Have a person.
If it were reversed, 7 over 12, would it be the same thing?
Right. Why now? Why is that? This is an anionic, and this is a cationic. What? Right, but it's the top number that it's really that'll aggravate the condition more and more. Because the top number is anionic and the bottom number is cationic. One is a nitrate nitrogen, the other is ammoniacal nitrogen. Yes?
Wouldn't the main reason you have arthritis here because the 4M, I don't know, if the 4M were lower, you probably wouldn't have it, would that be correct?
No, it would still be there regardless. Yes. That is possible too, but it's also to have a possible with a high one. High, it could be either way, yes.
Is there omega cell in the liver?
Yes.
And it's about a moderate case of cancer in the liver, not a
Minor, yes. Minor. Omega cells. What's that? Sure, because the calcium is oxidizing in the liver, and if calcium stays in too long, the cell becomes calcinized. In other words, cirrhosis of the liver is actually taking place here, which is cancer of the liver. Only it's the liver turned into a type of stone. It turns to it loses its light color, turns to a light beige, or even to a pink, and then to a beige, and then it turns to almost or the yellow color. And then after that, it'll turn to a dark brown or gray stone color.
Can cirrhosis be reversed?
Yes, if you get it early enough.
Is
Yes.
that when the person also becomes yellow in his skin when he gets to that?
Not necessarily, no. Not necessarily. They may die with this condition and never be yellow. Yes?
You change the pH only on that scale when sends it to cirrhosis. Back to normal with the cirrhosis then revert itself.
It should, yes. It should. If you change the pH back to normal, would cirrhosis go away? It should.